Cinnamon Bear.
This is the story of the Cinnamon Bear and his very marvelous adventures with Judy and Jimmy Barton. But we can't very well meet the Cinnamon Bear until we meet Judy and Jimmy. They are twins, and they live in a big, old-fashioned house. At this very minute, they're in the upstairs sitting room. And from all I can hear, Judy and Jimmy are busily engaged in that very pleasant task of writing letters to Santa Claus. Let's listen.
How are you getting along with your letter, Jimmy?
Oh, pretty well. I guess I've got about everything down here.
Now, don't go asking for everything the way you did last year.
Oh, you girls are all alike. I bet you if we counted the things in your letter and the things in mine, you'd have the most.
I bet you I wouldn't either.
You would.
Well, I won't argue about it. But I bet you my letter's more dignified than yours. Now, stop bothering me so I can finish it. Let me see. P.S. And Santa, there's just one thing more I'd like. A nice red V.L. That's not right. Jimmy, how do you spell velocipede?
Velocipede. V.A. Oh, you're too old for a velocipede anyway.
I guess maybe you're right.
Judy, Jimmy.
Yes, Mother.
We're here, Mother.
Have you finished those letters to Santa Claus yet?
Yes.
That's good, because we've something very important to do.
What's that, Mother?
What do you suppose I have in these cardboard boxes here?
I know. Our Christmas tree ornaments.
Yes, and you promised us we could help you go through them to see if any of them were broken.
Right.
Oh, let's hurry, Mother. I can't wait.
Just a minute. I'll put them right here on the table.
Oh, boy.
I hope that little pink Santa Claus didn't get broken.
We'll see.
Oh, aren't they beautiful?
I'll say. I like those big gold ones especially.
Everything seems to be pretty much in order. All the tinsel is here, the lights. Everything seems to be here except...
Except what, Mother?
Well, I can't see the silver star anywhere.
You mean the big one we always put way up on top of the tree?
Yes, but I don't see it in any of the boxes.
Oh, gee, Mom. I'd feel most awful if anything happened to that old silver star.
Me, too. Well, we've had it on top of our tree for years and years. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without the silver star.
Now, don't cry, Judy. It's probably just misplaced. I remember Uncle Jed took some things up to the attic last year after Christmas. Perhaps he put it away up there.
Could we go up and look for it, Mother?
I don't like to have you running around in that old attic. You might get hurt. Besides, it's too cold.
But, Mother, please, we've just got to find the silver star, and we have our sweaters on.
All right. But you've got to promise to be careful and not stay too long.
We won't, Mother. Honest, we won't. Where should we look first?
If Uncle Jed put it away, it's probably in that big trunk in the corner by the window. Be careful you don't hurt your fingers when you open it.
We'll be careful. Come on, Jimmy.
Okay, here we go up the stairs.
Now, don't run, children. You might fall and get hurt.
All right, Mother dear. Last one up's afraid of cats.
Gee willikers. They sure are steep stairs.
Yeah. They're a lot steeper than Mary Louise has in her house.
I bet these are the steepest stairs in the world.
Sure they are.
Whew. Here we are. I beat and you're a fraidy cat.
You didn't either, Beat. I got here at the same time, and I'm not a fraidy cat.
All right, then we both beat.
Okay. But if we both beat, who is a fraidy cat?
Oh, Charlie Simpson's a fraidy cat.
Yeah. Gee, there sure is a lot of stuff up in this attic.
Yeah, just look at all the suitcases and boxes and things.
Yeah. And there's that old spinning wheel and the music box. And
Oh, Judy, there's the old trunk Mother told us to look in.
must be awful full of things. The top is enclosed all the way down.
Well, you get on one side, Judy, and I'll get on the other. And then we can both lift at the same time.
All right, Jimmy. Gee, that was kind of heavy. Oh, look, Jimmy. There's one of those old crazy quilts right on top. Take it off and we'll see what's underneath.
Okay. There. Smells like mothballs, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. Do you see the silver star anyplace?
Just a lot of old clothes and stuff. Let's lift this top thing out. Come on, Judy, help me.
All right.
Now, let's see. Say, here's a small box of ornaments.
But they're all broken, Jimmy. And the silver star isn't there.
Gee, here's one that's not broken. It's a pretty little airplane. It's made out of gold glass or something.
We'd better take that downstairs with us. Why don't you put it someplace where it won't get broken?
I'd better, I guess. I'll just set it on top of this old dresser here. Find anything else, Judy?
You bet. Look at this, Jimmy. A little teddy bear with a green ribbon around his neck. Gee, he isn't any more than 4 inches high. I wonder where he came from.
I don't know. Look what I found, Judy. A real honest-to-goodness telescope. Gee, isn't it a dandy?
It's scrumptious. I bet that belonged to Uncle Jed when he was a sailor.
I bet so, too. It sure is a wonderful telescope. When I look through it, everything seems a million times bigger. Boy, I bet if I was out on the roof, I could see clear over to England.
Farther than that, maybe. You know what, Jimmy?
What?
This teddy bear is the teeniest one I've ever seen.
Sure is. Say, Judy, I bet if we looked at him through this telescope, he'd be a lot bigger.
Let's see, shall we? I'll lean him against the back of the trunk and you look.
All right. Now, just wait till I get it fixed. Jiminy crickets!
What do you see, Jimmy?
Willikers! He looks bigger than anything. Take a look, Judy.
Let me see. Goodness! He is big, isn't he? Why, he looks almost as big as we are, only he really isn't.
If you'd move over a little, Judy, we could both look at the same time. There. That's it. Can you see him?
Plain as day.
Judy, he moved. The bear moved. Didn't you see him moving?
I thought I did, but...
Sure he moved. Gosh.
Garage.
Judy, listen. He made a noise.
Maybe it was just a creaky board.
No, it wasn't any creaky board. It was that bear, and I'm going to talk back to him.
Oh, Jimmy, maybe you better hadn't.
Oh, don't get scared. He can't hurt you. He's really only 4 inches high. Hey, you teddy bear.
Garoo.
Oh,
Did you hear him, Judy? Did you hear him? He growled at me.
ooh, he did, didn't he? Say, Jimmy, ask him if he's a really, truly live, real bear.
All right. Hey, teddy bear, tell us, who are you?
I'm the cinnamon bear with the shoe button eyes, and I'm looking for someone to take by surprise. I go prowling and growling each night after dark, but the folks say my growl's just a cinnamon bark. Though I growl,
Garah.
and I growl,
Garoo.
my victims only say, oh, who's afraid of you? I'm the cinnamon bear with the shoe button eyes, and I'm huffy and fluffy and tough for my size. I devour lots of honey and cinnamon buns, just to make me ferocious, but nobody runs. Now I'll growl,
Garah.
and I'll growl,
Garoo.
and if you'll act afraid, I'm much obliged to you.
Oh, that was wonderful, Cinnamon Bear.
Garah.
Jimmy, let's pretend we're really afraid, huh? It'll make him feel good.
Oh, all right.
Oh, don't give us a scare like that again, Mr. Bear.
Garah.
Oh, Judy, I'm scared.
Garoo.
Oh, Jimmy, hold my hand tight.
Sure, and did I really frighten you?
Terribly.
You just about scared the daylights out of us.
Well, I promise not to frighten you any more. That is, not until me ferocious nature gets the better of me again. Now, would you be kind enough to tell me your names? I always keep a record of the people I scare.
I'm Jimmy.
And I'm his sister, Judy.
I'm much obliged to meet you, I'm sure. My name's Paddy O'Sullivan.
That sounds Irish.
Sure, I'm slightly Irish. That's why I wear this green ribbon around me neck. But tell me, what are you two doing up here?
Well, we lost the silver star that goes on top of the Christmas tree.
Have you ever seen it, Cinnamon Bear?
A silver star? Did it have 5 points?
Well, I think so.
Sure, I've seen it lots of times.
Oh, show us where the silver star is, Cinnamon Bear.
Oh, it's not here now. It's gone.
Gone?
Oh, dear. What shall we ever do now?
Well, who took it?
Why, the crazy Quilt Dragon, to be sure.
Who is he?
Oh, just a dragon. Not a very good one at that. He's terribly fond of shiny, bright things. Every day for the past month he's been running into the trunk to admire the silver star. And this afternoon it got the best of him, I guess. He just upped and ran off with it.
Oh, now we'll never see the silver star again.
Here, now, don't carry on like that. You can get the silver star back. Well, maybe.
How?
By going after the crazy Quilt Dragon. Chase him. I'll help you.
Will you really?
Oh, sure I will. Crazy Quilt's no great friend of mine. And besides, you were both very obliging and got perfectly terrified when I growled at you.
Oh, you're the most wonderful cinnamon bear in the whole wide world.
It's very nice of you to say it.
Well, if we're going to catch up with the crazy Quilt Dragon, we better get going.
Where do you think he went, Patty?
Well, if I know Crazy Quilt, he probably headed for the Lollipop Mountains.
The Lollipop Mountains? Well, how do we get there?
You see that little hole in the wall by the music box?
Yes.
Well, we just pop right through there.
Oh, but Patty, Judy and I can't get through that little hole.
Oh, yes, you can. It's very simple, really. All you and Judy have to do is degrow.
What do you mean, degrow?
Oh, just degrow. Get smaller and smaller and smaller until you're only 4 inches high, like me.
Gosh, we can't do that. Why, it's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. I can show you how to do it in a jiffy.
Phew, that sounds most magical.
Willikers, show us how, Patty. Quick.
All right. Now listen very carefully, and I'll tell you how to degrow.
Well, if the Cinnamon Bear can show Judy and Jimmy how to degrow until they're only 4 inches high, then as Judy says, it really will be most magical. And maybe they'll be able to catch the crazy Quilt Dragon and recapture their precious silver star after all. Anyway, be sure to listen next time and find out just how the Cinnamon Bear manages to make Judy and Jimmy only 4 inches high.
Cinnamon Bear.
we go with the story of Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear. If you'll remember, the twins went up into the attic to hunt for a missing Christmas tree ornament, the silver star. While searching through an old trunk, they found a little toy cinnamon bear only 4 inches tall. But when they looked at him through the big telescope, he got very much larger and started to talk to them. What's more, he told Judy and Jimmy that he could show them how to degrow until they were just as small as he, so they could all chase the crazy Quilt Dragon who had stolen their beautiful silver star out of the trunk. At this very minute, Judy is mighty anxious to learn all about this business of degrowing.
Please hurry and tell us how to get small, Cinnamon Bear.
Of course. Well, it's really quite simple, you know. It's all in the way you look at it. Now, just, pardon me a moment. Do you mind very much if I make one special growl at this spider here? He's been making faces at me, and it's very distracting.
All right, but please hurry.
It won't take a second. 1, 2, grrrah. He ran so fast you could hear him whistle. That's a most effective growl, don't you think?
Of course. It's wonderful, Cinnamon Bear. But we've just got to get smaller right away, or we'll never get Crazy Quilt.
Oh, yes. Let's see now. As I was saying, it's all in the way you look at it. We're only as big as we see we are.
I don't understand what you mean, Cinnamon Bear.
Well, you're used to seeing yourself the way you are now, about 4.5 feet high. Now, when you look at me through the small end of the telescope, I'm big, aren't I?
Uh-huh.
When you look through the small end, things look bigger. But if you turn the telescope around and look through the big end, they look smaller.
Oh.
Now, Jimmy, you take the telescope and look at Judy through the big end.
All right. Now, hold still, Judy. Oh, my goodness, but you're little. Why, you're no bigger than Cinnamon Bear.
Let me look at you, Jimmy. I bet you're just as tiny as I am. Oh, Jimmy, you're only about 4 inches high. Really?
There. Now, the only thing you children have to do to be small is to see yourselves that way.
But how are we going to do that, Cinnamon Bear?
Yes, that's what I'd like to know. We can see each other through the telescope, all right, but how can we see ourselves?
Sure, and it's simple. The first thing you do is put the telescope up on top of that dresser over there, the one with the looking glass. Fix it so the small end is next to the looking glass, and then look at yourselves through the big end. And presto, change-o, you'll be as small as me.
Isn't it fun, Jimmy? Regular magic.
Sure is all right. Now, come on and help me put this telescope on top of the dresser. It's pretty heavy. There. We're all set now.
Now, wait. I almost forgot something. I'd appreciate you putting me on the top of the dresser before you degrow. I'll have a hard time getting up there by myself.
Of course, Cinnamon Bear. Just hang on to my finger tight.
Okay.
And up you go.
Thank you, Judy. Now you two can look through the telescope.
All right.
There. Why, I can see you and me, Judy.
So can I. And we look so tiny, Oh!
Gee willikers.
Do you feel funny, Jimmy?
Awful funny.
Phew. Here we are. Why, we're at the other end of the telescope.
And look how big everything is. Why, look way over there, Judy. The trunk seems as big as a mountain.
And just a minute ago, we were taller than it is.
Well, how do you like being only 4 inches high?
All right, I guess. Sure is funny, though. I wonder what Mother would say if she could see us now, Judy.
She probably couldn't see us unless she looked awful hard.
Oh, we better get started now if we want to catch the crazy Quilt Dragon. He's got a pretty big head start.
Where do we go, Cinnamon Bear?
Right through that hole in the wall.
Why? Well, we were down on the floor a while ago. It was only a tiny little hole. Now it looks like a tunnel.
That's exactly what it is, Judy. A tunnel. And it leads to Maybeland.
Maybeland? But you said the crazy Quilt Dragon probably headed for the Lollipop Mountains.
Sure, and the Lollipop Mountains are located in Maybeland. Come on, let's get started.
Oh, dear. How are we ever going to get down off this big high dresser, Cinnamon Bear?
In me aeroplane, to be sure.
Why, look, Judy. Over on the other side of the dresser. It's that gold glass airplane I found in the trunk.
Only now it's great big.
But, Cinnamon Bear, we can't go anywhere in that. Why, it's only a Christmas tree ornament.
That's where you're very mistaken, Jimmy. That happens to be me very own extra private airplane, and it flies beautifully.
It does?
It certainly does. Absolutely. And if you want to know what, I once made a transroute beer oceanic flight in it. Come along now.
Why, look, Judy. It has a motor and everything. What does it run on, Cinnamon Bear?
All the motors in Maybeland run on soda pop. Now, you and Judy climb in first.
All right. Oh, gee. This is wonderful. When do we start?
In a second, Judy. Can you jiggle that lever while I get the propeller going, Jimmy?
Sure. This one?
That's right.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm so excited.
Contact. Won't be a minute now, and we'll be off for Maybeland. Here we go.
Whee!
Gee.
I'll just circle the room a couple of times, and then we'll head for the tunnel.
Oh, watch where you're flying, Cinnamon Bear. Just missed hitting the trunk.
I'm sorry, Judy. Hold tight now. Here we go into the tunnel.
It's awful dark in here. How can you see, Cinnamon Bear?
My shoe-button eyes are especially good, you know. Anyway, it won't be dark for long. We're nearly through the tunnel already. Can't you see the light ahead?
Sure enough. Why, look, we're outside. Oh, Jimmy, isn't it wonderful?
Phew. Why, it's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Is this what you call Maybeland?
Indeed.
Do lots of people live here?
Scads and scads of them. All kinds of dolls and little animals and funny creatures you probably never even heard of.
Are they all nice like you, Cinnamon Bear?
Some are rather bad, they tell me, but of course I haven't met all the inhabitants of Maybeland. Be a long way.
Oh, it's just like a dream. What is this place we're flying over now?
Those are the Lollipop Mountains, Judy. All those different colors you see down there are lollipop trees.
Look, is that the crazy Quilt Dragon?
Where?
Way over there, on top of that shiny cliff.
Yes, sirree, it's Crazy Quilt, all right. And that's a cliff at the top of Looking Glass Valley. It's made entirely of looking glass. He probably picked the spot so he could bend over and admire his reflection. He's very vain.
Let's hurry and catch him.
We must be specially cautious. Mustn't let him know we're after him. We better circle over Looking Glass Valley, you know, just as if we were looking at the view, and then get around in back of him and take him by surprise.
That's a fine idea.
My, isn't it bright, Judy?
Just like looking up above you, 'cause it reflects the sky and everything.
Hello there!
Did you hear somebody call?
Yes, over there. Oh, me, it's that awful stork.
Stork?
Yes, Weary Willie, and he's a terrible nuisance. Always going around in short pants and bragging about his wonderful travels. You know, he's a globetrotter and he writes books, but don't pay any attention to him.
I say, hello there and cheerio.
It seems sort of impolite not to say hello to him.
Oh, very well, but I warn you, he's no good at all. No good at all. Hello, Weary Willie.
Greetings, my friends, greetings. Could you perchance accommodate a weary wayfarer in your airplane? I've wandered many a mile and I'm most fatigued.
Of course not, silly. You're bigger than our airplane is, and you leave us alone. We're busy.
Look, Jimmy, isn't he funny? He's wearing short pants like a mountain climber or something.
And look at those horn-rimmed glasses. Look at that silly hat with a feather in it. He's the funniest stork I ever saw.
Well, far be it from me to intrude where I am obviously not welcome. Of course, I cannot always expect people to be magnanimous or sensible of the extreme honor I am conferring on them by
Whatever
offering
in the
to
world
rise
is he talking about, Cinnamon Bear?
Don't pay any attention to him. He thinks he should talk that way because he has a diploma and writes books.
I'll overlook your insinuations, Paddy O'Cinnamon. If you cannot assist me in my flight, my young friends, perhaps you have the wherewithal to aid and abet in quenching my most ravenous thirst.
He means he's thirsty. Will you please go away, Weary Willie? We're in a very great hurry to catch the crazy Quilt Dragon, who made off with a silver star that belongs to me friends.
Oh, indeed, a daring fellow, that crazy Quilt.
Yes, and furthermore, the only liquid we have on board is the soda pop that runs the aeroplane. So scram.
Oh, soda pop. Delectable. What flavor?
Oh, raspberry.
Raspberry? Oh, that will do admirably.
What does he mean?
My goodness, he's drinking up all the soda pop gas.
That was delicious, my friends. Top hole. Thank you, thank you. Now I believe I'll just fly over and tell Crazy Quilt you're chasing him. Or perchance I should say we're chasing him. See you later. Pip, pip.
Oh, he's flying away, Cinnamon Bear. You bad old stork. Shame on you.
We're beginning to drop.
Don't be afraid. We'll make it all right.
We're going right down in Looking Glass Valley.
Yes, and I can see our reflection coming up to meet us. Whee!
Oh, gee.
Oh, Jimmy!
Hold tight.
Oh, my.
Are you all right, children?
Sure. That was nothing.
I'm all right, too, Cinnamon Bear. But I'm awful angry with that mean old Weary Willie Stork.
So am I, and if I ever catch him, I'll make him molt where he doesn't expect to.
It sure puts us in a fix. How can we ever get out of this valley? The sides are all made of looking glass, and they're straight up and down.
I don't want to frighten you, children, but this is really more serious than you think. Really.
What do you mean, Cinnamon Bear?
Will you promise me not to get scared?
We promise. We're not afraid.
Well, I know all about this Looking Glass Valley. I flew down here last year and explored it from one end to the other, and I found out...
What?
Unless you have an airplane or can fly...
Yes?
There is absolutely, positively no way to get out.
My. Our adventurers really are in a pickle, aren't they? Out of soda pop gas on the shiny floor of Looking Glass Valley, with sides too steep to be climbed, and to make matters even more unbearable, the crazy Quilt Dragon still has the Silver Star. Let's be sure to listen next time and see what becomes of Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear.